let's first we have a look at what we are going to build. I'm at make.powerapps.com. Within my environment, this is the application. It says Breaking Bad app, and let's play that application. Let's have a look at it. So this is our application we are going to build. Let's have a look at this application right now. If you look at this part, it's an image. It picks up from the API, and then these are some text, like again picking up the information from the API. And this is a gallery. So look, it's a gallery, and then inside this gallery it has this an image, plus it has a conditional like displaying if this character is deceased or alive. This information are there, and also it's by default it marks this character, whoever the character, because this is randomly picking up a character, and then it highlights which character is loaded here. Also you can just do the other way around. If you click on this one, so the character is loaded, any characters, you click, and then there's a nice little highlight here, and then you will see each character or each person in this episode, how many, what are the seasons they have like appeared. Like this character, like Mike has appeared on season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5. If you look at some other characters like this guy Jesse, and he has all the seasons, the 5 seasons. And maybe look at this guy has like only just 2 seasons. And this is also a gallery. So I'm gonna let you know how to build these things. This is also a gallery, and all these things we're gonna build today. And also let's close this application and start back. If you look at this application, this character, the first character is loading by default. That means by default means it's like randomly loading this information, and again this one is marked as a selected one. If you see, it's the middle of the gallery. If you look, click this guy, yeah. So this is the plan. This is the one I'm going to build, and let's have a look at how to build this application. So before we build, I'm going to look at these 2 things. I'm going to build a custom connector. You might be wondering, okay, why I'm going to build a custom connector? So there are plenty of connectors, 270 odd connectors already in Power Apps, right? So this is a third-party API. If you look at this third-party API, if I like go back to, I'm going to say let's breakingbad.com. This is the API available. This is the one I'm going to use. And then if you click on the documentation, you have the documentation. I have used this part of the API, the characters. I'm going to use get all characters, and then I'm going to use get a random character, and also maybe I might use some other parts. Mainly I'm going to looking at this get all characters plus get a random character. Yeah, that's wonderful. Let's build a custom connector right now. So if we go to the same dashboard, make.powerapps.com, which is where we started to create one thing, and then in the left side menu you click on this data, and then you click on custom connectors. So you will already, there is a API connector I have created. So this is the one I have used for my application. Let's create a new custom connector. We're going to start from scratch. You can use this custom connector to connect to any API you have right now. Maybe any API you're going to build in the future. It's easy. You don't have to worry about, okay, if I don't have this, if you look at these connections, so there are plenty of connections. If you click on new connection, there are plenty of connections already available. If you have an API of your own, there might not be a connection to this API. So that's why we have these custom connectors. Let's build this custom connector to this API from scratch. Let's start with a new custom connector. I'm gonna use this option, create from blank. So I have to give a name for, so I already have a name. I'm gonna say V2. Let's give a name as V2 and continue. This is the name, the connector name is going to appear. Now you can select an icon for this your API connector, because then your users will be identifying your API using this image, a nice little icon. So I'm not going to use create an icon right now. So again, you can give a background color for your API. For example, you can just say, okay, I need a background color of some white color. If you have an icon, you can just straight away get this color here, right? So that's the one, and then you can give a description. I'm going to copy a description from this part. Let's copy this description, and then it says HTTPS. Yes, HTTPS. I'm going to use HTTPS, and then the host name. The host name will be this part of the domain, so I'm going to use that one. Nice. Now you don't need any www, just the .com. You don't need HTTPS because it's already picks up from here, and then the host and the base URL. Next step, security. If you have any security, maybe a basic authentication, some APIs might have an API key. You can just select that one, or you can have an OAuth2 connection, or you can use that. For this API, there is nothing, no authentication. I'm going to straight away go to the definition. Right, this is the part you're going to explain your API. For example, this part of the API. So I'll just copy this base API URL and then I'll paste it here. Just paste it here. So you will see it's already have an API information. I'm just looking at the characters. I'm going to copy this part and paste it back. See, all the characters will be listed under like this. Now this is the API. I'm going to look at it. So it says, if you read the documentation, it says get all characters. That means API / get all characters. So I'm going to create that API endpoint. So let's create a new action and name it get all characters, and then a description, small description, retrieves all the characters. Right, now the operation ID, this is the one, this operation, this ID we're going to use as unique string to identify your endpoint. This is the one we're going to use from the Power Apps or any other. Maybe we can use the same thing into Power Automation as well. So this focus is on Power Apps. So we're going to use this one, this ID, to access your API endpoint through Power Apps. I'm going to name it as get all characters. So this is the API. It says get all characters. Now, so the visibility option, if you look at this documentation, it says, okay, import means operation and parameters are always shown to the user. And advanced means it will gonna display on an additional menu. Internal means this is hidden from the user. So normally we choose important. That means we need the operations and all the parameters visible. It must be visible for us to access it through Power Apps. So I'm going to select important. That means all the operation, this one plus the parameters will be visible for the Power App. And next step, this is the request. I'm going to click import from a sample. This is how I'm going to use. So it will be a get. So this is my entire API for the characters. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to come back. And it says it's a get. I'm going to paste it. See, paste it and then we leave it alone and import. So we have this information. Now it says okay, the API for this request, get all characters. Still we are working on it. Now I'm going down. Now response, it's better you just use this way. You can just, if you click on this default, it says nothing, it says just the body. So it's not usable for us. You can just get one by one these keys. Otherwise you can get a sample data and then create the response information by yourself. So this is how you get that. Just copy all the sample data from the start to end. The entire thing you just copy and come back here and add default response. I'm going to say this is my response, paste it and import. So if you click back on the default, it says all the information, the birthday, all the information from the body will be available here. So let's get back here. So almost we are done. Basically this is the everything we need to access the endpoint. Next step will be testing this endpoint. First step, we'll just create the connector right now. Click create. It's creating right now with this name. And next step, click on test. So at the moment we haven't created any connection yet. Let's click new connection. And then this is my API, create. It's created. So here it says it should, let's see, it has created. Let's go back to custom connectors and click on edit my version 2.1 and click on test. So it will be available here, it says Breaking Bad API version 2. Now let's click on test operation. Now we have the information here, so everything will be available here. This is the get all characters. If you look at this Swagger editor, it's also created for you as well, right? Now let's close back. Let's click edit and then definition. Click on the definition. Let's add another action. It's the same way. I'm going to click new action. This time I'm going to pick up this one. Get a random character. Get a random character means this API. So let's copy this description back. I'm going to select important because we need this operation and all the parameters visible to us. And import from a sample. It's the same thing. Let's go back to the random character. This is the one. Copy API. I'm going to paste it under here. And let's click on it. Oops, not /. Let's click back it. Yeah. Now paste it. Now you have a random character. If you see, let's get it from the sample. So this is my API for it. So if you look at the document, it says API character random, and then it should be like this, character random. So this is my sample API endpoint. I'm gonna come back and paste it under here, and it's a get and import. Now you have that one as well. Let's get the response. Add a response the same way. Copy this sample back. Copy, come back here, paste it inside the body and import. If you look at it, you will see the sample output. Come back, and now we can just update the character. Right now we are updating it. If you want to test it, the same way, click test. Let's click test and test operation. So you will get a random character. So now I'm going to select this one, the second one. I need to test that one, test. So you get this character ID 26, and it's another guy. Again we test it, character ID 21, another person. So that means two of our endpoints are working very well. Just update back. Now we have like two endpoints. If you look at the definition, you will see we have two endpoints. This is more than enough for our application, the old characters and a random character. Let's close it. Now we have our version 2. So this is how you create a custom connector. If you want this custom connector to be saved or downloaded, you click on it, it will download the Swagger JSON file, or you can edit it, or you can just work on it. So this is how we create a custom connector. Let's look at how to use this one on Power Apps. Now let's start with the application. Again, make.powerapps.com. We are here. We'll start with a new application. It says create. I'm going to start with a blank v2. And I'm going to select, this is a tablet application. Let's click create. So this is the place we're going to create our application. This is Power App Studio. This is where the starting point. So by default, you're given a screen one screen here, and then the application information and this default screen. For this application we need just only one screen. So we're gonna rename it for like in the tree view. Just double click on it. You can say maybe home screen. It's always a very good practice. You name your screens, name your elements, name your components. It's a very good practice, and the convention is not just a big deal. It's up to you. I used to name like this. Now we need to build an application. We have to create the background, and then we have to create a logo. So to start with, we'll click on this media, and then I'm going to click upload, and here we go. I have my logo PNG file. So it's uploaded. It's uploaded here. It says download PNG, the logo, and you will see you can just upload it no larger than 64 MB. It should be like that, means the each file size plus maximum of like 200 MB, right? Let's go back to my tree view. You have your home screen, and then for the home screen I'm going to add a nice rectangle for the background. If you look at these colors, now if you look at this, you have this fill color here and it says blue, and if you can select one of these colors again. If you click here, you have this border. I'm going to say border thickness, it says 0, there is nothing, no border here right now. You just, let's change the background color. You just click fill and click custom. I already have these colors created for the background, dark green color. So let's, and then it says this dark green color, or you can just do the same here, click and then in front of property window and then click this part custom, you paste it under here. It's the same, right? Give this rectangle a name. You can just do the same in this property window, say background. Let's resize it. You just place it here, drag and drag down. This is the background, right? Now go back to media. Now you have your logo. If you click on it, you will see the logo. I'll just keep the logo right here, maybe resize a bit. Let's resize a bit. Now let's keep it here. Now you have your logo, right? This is the main part, and then you click save, or maybe Control S, and then it says the Breaking Bad application. You just save it. So it's always a good practice, you save your work, and then if you want you can just share, or I can go back and then we'll work on your application back. Now we have the application. This is your application. If you go back to the tree view, we'll see home screen, image and background. That's okay. For the image, I'm double click on the image. I'm going to rename it to logo, and then I'm going to select these two, click right mouse and then group, say group. Now you have your group there, right? Okay, we have built a basic screen here with the background and the logo. Let's add the data source. I'm going to click this icon, data source icon, and add data. I'm going to search for my connection. So the API is Breaking Bad. I'm going to use my original API. This is the version 2 we have just created. So we have it's the same thing, but I'm going to use this one. Let's click. Okay, the data source is added. Let's close it. Now we have the data source. First thing I want to use, if you remember, in this data source we had two different things. Let's go back, and data and custom connectors. This is my original one. This is the one I just created. I'll just show you the items I have. I click on the edit and I go to the definition, and you will see I have three different items like actions. The first one says the get all characters, and then the second one says get the random character, and the third one is just a single character, right? It just picks up this from URL, and the data returns here. Let's go back. I will share this API JSON file, then you guys can just import and create the API using here. You just click here now, import and open API file. You can just simply import it and just create this one, or you can just create it from scratch. So I'm going to use my original API. So same thing, original connector. I just created this one. Let's use this one. So I go back, we are using it. Let's start with an image. So the first one in the API, it picks up. Remember, in the API, the Breaking Bad API, we have the API. And let's go back to the documentation. In the documentation, you will see I'm going to use the first one, get a random character, right? It picks up a random character when the form the app loads, and it displays the information for that character. Let's start with an image. Click this plus button and media image. You can use this part, or you can just say okay, insert media image. It's up to you. I'm going to drag this image, like keep it here, and I come back here and then I'm just rename it. I'm going to say character image. That's my character image. That's the name for my image, is component, right? Now let's drag a bit. Let's like make it sure it's like in the proper size, like this is okay, right? Let's keep it as it is. Now it should be, when this application loads, it should my API, my connector should pick up a random character and it should display the image here. That's the plan, right? For that one, I'm going back to my tree view. I'm going to click on this app. This is my application level information. Application level means it has these properties like events on start, confirm exit message, confirm exit, and these all these things, right? So on start, it's a good point to set up this API. So I'm gonna set up a variable, a global variable. Global variable means if you set up a global variable, you will get that variable for this any number of screens you're going to create. That's a global variable. Or else you can create some local variables that only allows to work within this one screen. So let's start with this global variable. Let's set, we use a function called set. This is the global variable. It says set the variable name and the value. I'm going to say variable name is a random character. This is the variable name, and then comma, the value should be coming from my API. So the API name is, let's say, Breaking Bad. Now this is the API name, and then I have two different items, get all characters and get random character. I'm going to use get random character and close the brackets, no parameters, and close it. That's it. Now it's done. The variable is set up. Let's go back to my home screen. In the home screen, you click, you have to assign that value image property. This image property, now you have a sample image. This is a predefined property. It will create this sample image. If you go back, you will see this Breaking Bad API random character, right? The value, you understand it right now. Now how do I get this value here, right? This is how you do it. Now we have to, like, when application start, it says application on start. If you just click this preview, it won't do anything, because in the developer area you can't just execute this app start one. Always when you save and publish an app, a Power App, and then when you execute it, that event will trigger the on start event, right? For that, but we can simulate it. How we can simulate it? You just click these three dots, click run on start. Now it will simulate. Now you see it picks up the information. Now it executes. Let's go back to the correct image and make sure you have select this image property, and here we'll see random character variable. Random. Now you can just get this random character variable, and it says a data type is table. Now the problem is, now if you click image, you can't use that since this data type is a table, because this one should be a field value, not a table. If you look at a table has rows, and each row has a column name means a field. Then we have to tell Power App, okay, this is not a table, it should be a record, and then I'm going to pick up from that record this field name. I'm going back to my application, then there's a function called first, because I always know when this get random character will returns only one character. See, request a random character, the request accept query parameter limit, or if you just, it doesn't matter, you don't need that, and it picks up a one character from this one. One character means, let's see how it works. Let's go back to the documentation, and then now we'll see one random character here. See, even though it returns one character, the JSON is an array. See, so JSON array is one object. That's why Power App is returning a table here. So for that, there's a, because this is a table, and we exactly know there will be only always one character. For that reason, we're going to use another function called first. So first says, this first function, it says first and source, a table whose first row will be returned. See, now I'm going back and first. Let's enter. Now we have this set random character, get the first record from the API. Let's go back to my image. Now there is no error, nothing displayed, but still we have to execute this one. Run. Now it picks up, see, now it picks up the random character. Now we have to just create the screen nicely. We'll just It's simple now. Let's get another label. Click insert a label, come back here, put it back here, and let's increase the size maybe 35 and select a nice font. I'm gonna say bold, and then I'm gonna select this font, and I'm gonna change the color. Let's change the color into a nice color. Click custom and paste it. Now you have a nice color. See the text. Now if you look at this API return type, it returns the name. See, you get the name here, and from Power Apps you can easily access it. Make sure the text property is selected, then you select the variable random character dot name. See? Now you have the name here. Let's try back and then click on the app, click run start, and it will pick up another random character and with the name. See, now the image, if you look at the image, it doesn't fill. So for that I'm going to get back to my image, select the image, and we select image position. It says fit, not fit. I'm going to say okay, stretch. You can use stretch, or you can say fill. Fill is nice, it just get the proportion right. I'm going to select fill. Let's check with another character, run start, and it picks up a random character and the image is displayed. So it's working fine. Now I'm going to let you create another two text labels, pick up the nickname and pick up the occupation of this character. It's simple. You have two methods. Let's click this label and rename it to character name. Okay, I'll give you like 2 minutes. You just pause the video and try to create the other two variables. Right now it should look like this. The random character dot nickname for the text property. I have created a font size of 18, and then if you look at the color, I have given a nice light green color here. And if you look at this part, if you just type the occupation, just type here, and then it gives an error. See, the occupation says a table. So let's have a look. Why is that? If you look at the random character, if you look at the occupation field, it's an array again. So always this JSON array, it treated as a table for that, and then we have to do the same thing what we did. So I'll assume we'll just pick up the first one only. So let's say first, and then value. This is how you do that. See, now it says DEA agent. Now again I have just put a font size of 15 and a color. Let's change the name. I'm going to say character occupation. Now if you remember, we had a seasons list, right? If you look at this one, the API, it says, where is it? It says appearance, this variable, this field appearance, it says 245. That means this guy is on season 2, season 4 and season 5, and again it's an array. Array means on Power App it's a table. So easily we can use a gallery for that. This is how you do that. Click again insert, click gallery. I'm going to create a blank horizontal gallery. Then I don't need the data source yet. This is how I'm going to use it. So let's drag down and let's keep as it is. Let's size, and I'm going to name the gallery as seasons gallery. Right now we need to attach a data series. If you click the gallery, automatically Power App Studio selects as the items property. That means there is a default property called custom gallery sample. I'm going to select this, so it should be like this. From the variable random character dot appearance. So appearance already a table. See, table, we get the table. It has the values 2, 4, 5. We already get the values as well. Let's keep as it is. Let's press enter. Now you get the appearance. Now we don't have any items yet. How are you going to put items? Going to click here, click on and add a label. See, now we have the label. It's slightly not visible. Let's get some properties here. Let's say font size 18. Now background color is okay. The label, you can use the same font white color. Just copy this, and for the label it says the border, and click border color custom. Let's paste it, and it's 0 right at the moment. Let's select a nice border of 2. Oh, it looks nice now. Now let's make it center, and let's make the size 40 by 40. It looks nice. Now click on this gallery and then one item. See, this is the item width. Yes, that's why this is that's why you have this space, a huge space here. You can slowly drag and then you can see it's coming up nicely. So the gap, and click. I'm gonna copy this one and paste it. It should be just a label saying seasons, and then you will see nicely these guides helps you to align the interface. Right, let's click, make it align, or you can use the alignment tools as well, and let's drag down here. Now we have the seasons. This is how you create the seasons. Character name, this is the seasons label, and then we have the gallery of seasons. Slice the name now. Let's click on app start and run on start. Let's pick up another character. See, now everything is working fine. Let's click again, another character. All good. Right, now I'm going to create another gallery in the middle to get all the other characters. Right, we already have an API called get all characters. We're going to use that one. Let's click insert, and again an horizontal gallery. I'm going to click that one. I'm not going to use the API yet. Let's come back here, drag down a bit, and then from this layout, right, layout, you click and select this one, tile and subtitle overlay. It will look nice. That's okay. Now I'm going to rename the gallery into all characters. There's gallery. That's nice. Let's select the image, and maybe we can just click, yeah, resize a bit. Yeah, this looks nice. Let's drag up, and then the font size, I'm going to change it to maybe 15, small font size. Yes, and then on the second one, I don't need that one, I'm going to delete it. Nice. Let's drag back. Yeah, let's keep as it is for now. Now let's select the gallery here. From the tree view, all characters gallery, you will see items. It says custom gallery sample. That means it's a custom one. See, a custom image, custom information. We don't need that. We need the API information. I'm going to see like this. I'm going to say Breaking Bad API and get all characters. And this, you will see the name text. You can just search from name. We don't need that. It's an optional parameter. Then you just click like this. Now it picks up, see, all the information, Breaking Bad, and then the birthday information, images. Only thing you have to do is like assign them. That's it. Let's click this icon. It says name isn't valid. It's looking nice. It's okay. We can fix that. We'll click inside the image first, and then it says sample image. When you are inside a gallery, we can use this item. When you say this item, it picks up the current record, and then dot means yes. Now image. See, simple as that. Now let's fix this error. Edit, and it says sample heading. You don't need this item, sample heading. It should be name. Now you have the name. Now let's drag the name a little bit down and click here and make sure it looks nice. Excellent. Now let's click the image and we're going to say fill. The whole screen is filled right now. Let's click and drag this in a bit like this. Good. Let's save it and let's play. See, now you have the gallery, all the information you need. It's nice looking gallery. Let's close it. Now next step, let's make sure when you click on one of these items, one of these faces, and then this information should change according to that information, right? So if you click Jesse, his image should be here, and then the name, and then information, then the season information, because this is already an array. You already have the information inside the gallery. See, the whole characters, we have it here, and then when you click on it, we can pick up one record and assign it here. So the best way of the doing is like, you just, if you look at this, I am just already have a variable here. So what if we replace this variable value from what we have selected here? That's a good thing, right? So let's have a look at that. Let's select the gallery, one image. We just say, okay, we'll say the image, and then you have to select from that image on select. On select means when you click or touch on this image, right? It says select parent, and let's do like this. Every gallery has a method called selected. Whatever we selected, that method or that function we're going to use. So this is how you're going to use it. Now I'm going to first set the variable. Okay, what is the variable name? The random character. This is my variable name. From that variable, I'm going to select from my gallery. Where is my gallery? All characters gallery. And then dot selected. Then close it. That's it. Simple as that. Let's try that. Play. Then you have the gallery. When you click one of these items, see, nice, these changes. Now he has 5 seasons. Skylar has like 5 seasons. Okay, everything is changing according to the item. Now if you look at these things, if you look at this text, it doesn't work. That means, because why is that? Let's look back. Close this. Let's look back. If you click on this image, you will see in the tree view, it's in the bottom. The image is in the bottom, and then there's an overlay layer, and then there's a title, right? So this is the issue. So image is on the bottom because of the Z index. These are on top. These are not clickable. Then you have to separately select. Okay, on select this one, on select this one. You have to give it 3 times. So I have a workaround for that. So what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to create another. Let's insert. Let's add a small rectangle. Let's make that rectangle size of the image. It should be on top of everything, right? Top of everything. And I'm going back to my image in the tree view. Image. I'm gonna cut this part. Cut, and then click the rectangle. Rectangle, yes. And on that one, I'm gonna paste it there, right? It's the same thing. Let's preview it. Now you have anywhere you can select it. Next step should be select the rectangle. Let's a little bit down here. Select the rectangle, rename it. I'm going to rename it character select, and then we click the background color, click custom. You will see RGBA, that means red, green, blue, and alpha. Alpha means the transparency. 100 means you have plenty of transparency. Now if you just say 50% transparent, see, you get the 50% transparent. I don't need that amount. I'm going to say, okay, the transparency should be 0. Now you have this image. Let's play back. Now you have a nice looking interface, right? You can just scroll and click. Everything works fine. That's okay. Now next step. How do we know which character is selected? Okay, now it says this guy, right? But if you click inside the gallery, now it says this guy, but if you somebody you have selected, it should be highlighted. So that's the plan. This is how you're going to do it. Let's select the gallery and select. You have a property called template fill. See, template fill. Currently it says RGBA 000 and transparency 0. That means black color, and then let's change this into a like RGB, a red color, maybe 128, and change the transparency into 1. See, now you will see this red color everywhere, but this is not the behavior we need. So we need the behavior of when you click one of these items, it should be highlighted. This is how you're going to do it. You're going to use, let's copy this or maybe cut this. Template fit will be, I'm going to put a condition if this item, whatever the item, and then dot is selected. So it returns a boolean value. Data type is boolean. That means if this item is selected, it will be true, else it will be false. So I'm going to give the selected, that means true value. So we don't need a false value. Just make sure it works fine. So let's go back and review it. Let's click. See, now it's nicely selecting. Now you can select whatever the color you want. So it's up to you, right? It's nicely selecting. Now we have the highlight. Excellent. Let's close this. This is how you do it. Select the gallery and template fill and put a condition. This item is selected. Okay, whatever the selected item, and then change the color. Right? Simple as that. Next step. Now if you remember, when you run this one, it picks up a random character. See, whoever the random character is picked up. What if now if you look at the selected value is a different value, a different item. It should be when it loads, when you see something is loaded, some image is loaded, that person should be selected in the grid, in the gallery. That's our aim. The plan is like when you click, when the application starts, randomly one character is loaded. The loaded character, whoever this character, should be selected from the gallery and highlighted. Right? That's the plan. How are you going to do that? So let's look how to do that. In the gallery, you select the gallery, you have a property called default. Then you can set up a default value here. Actually, you have to tell, okay, a default record. Whatever the record you pick up. Now let's look at how to do that. So we're going to select a record, whatever record, from the API. Let's get back first. This is how you get the API. API, how are you going to get that? Breaking Bad API, all characters, from the all characters, yes, all of them, and get one record, whatever the selected one. So we have plenty of records. I'm going to get one record. How do I get that? I'm going to use the function. There's a function called filter. You can just say filter. The source is this everything, get all characters. And the test, logical test should be, I'm going to say character ID. Character ID, it's coming from the API, equals whatever the value. I'm going to say, okay, maybe 2. For now, let's say 2. Right? Still it doesn't work because now the 2 is selected. It's still a table, but it should be a record to be this parameter. This is default is a record. Then for that, we know there will be only one record. Let's say first. Now you will see the gallery, the second person has selected. Maybe this ID, let's say another ID here, maybe 4. You will see the fourth one is selected. Nice. Now the problem is, now we have a performance issue. This is not good because if you look at the gallery, we are already picking up from the API from here, plus if you look at the items property, again we are already calling the API. 2 places in the same gallery we are calling the API. This will be a performance issue. For that, what I'm going to do is like, okay, when application starts, let's pick up all the characters. at once, and then we use it within the application. So for now, this is for the demo purpose. This is, we can use that. How do you going to use that? This is how you use. I'm going to say set. I'm going to create another variable name of, let's say, Breaking Bad characters, maybe say BBC, or maybe we can say all Breaking Bad characters. Yeah, now it should be from the API, like this one, Breaking Bad. We need a table, get all characters. Yes, we need everything. Nice, we have the characters. Now this is the variable we have. Save it. Let's go back to the gallery, and we don't need this part. We're going to say, we're going to straight away assign the variable. We're going to say all Breaking Bad characters. See, now the variable is not updated. For that one, we have to run, execute this on start. Let's execute. Now you have all the characters from the variable. Now you have the variable. Yeah, use that, and then we just click the gallery back, and then go back to my default property. Let's replace this one from all Breaking Bad characters. Nice. Now we have a working application. Now we selected the fourth one. This is hard coded. Now how to pick up this value? This guy's value. This is easy. You just say random character dot character ID. Let's try that. Nice. Now see, default is character ID. Nice, selected. Let's go back to the application and then simulate on start. Random character already selected. Let's try the preview. Let's go back here, click one of these guys, and then it looks okay, but see, it automatically comes here. When you select, it should stay here. See, this is nice slight glitch. So that's because you're going to picking up the variable, because when you select one, you're applying the variable. Let's close this, and you will see when you select this one, you're going to set the variable random character, and then again it comes to the default. It picks up here and then default. That's why it's calling. It should not happen. So it should be happening only once. When the application loads, it gets something here, an image, and then it should be selected here. After all, when you click on it, should stay there in the gallery, and then it should be displayed the image. For that, we have to create another variable to get the ID. Let's drag back here, and to get the ID, this is how you get that. Set another variable. I'm going to say default ID will be from the random character. While it's set up, random character dot character ID, and then close it and semicolon. So you can just, within the semicolon, you can separate plenty of functions here. If you want to format it, you can just click. It will be nicely formatted. See, nice. Let's click and run on start, and go back to my gallery. Back up, and default, you shouldn't say random character, should be the variable default ID. Say default ID. Now default ID is working fine. Let's save it. Let's click run start. Now see, now it loads and select the ID. Click on start and select the ID. Now let's preview it. It's okay, it's selected. Now click, the click stays. See, the variable doesn't change. Excellent. Let's close it. And yeah, now we have created now we have used to create this application. We have created a custom connector. Now we have used two different galleries. Gallery here, one gallery here for the characters, the other gallery for the seasons. Now one more thing, let's use this variable, this item says where it is, let's say the status. The status says alive. If this character is alive, it's okay. If this character is deceased, yes, let's put a label in front of these guys. We start with this item. We'll create a small rectangle or maybe a text box, a label, click on the label. Now we have the label here. Sorry, label should be there. Now let's click outside the grid, insert label. We have the label. Nice. Now let's create a nice green color for this label, and again in the background color we can go back and the alpha should be like 50% or maybe, yeah, maybe 70%. 70. Nice. Now select a nice font, but this should be displaying depending on the value we get. How are you going to do that? The value will be status. See, the status value. So we already have that value. We go back to our Power Apps and then you select the label and drop down. You will get a property called visible. See, it says true. Then we can select an if the character, the random character, the variable dot status equals alive, hide it false, this not false, and if it is false, that means this guy is already dead, and true. Let's see how it works. Save. And we can do the same here. We just click inside a button. I'll just copy paste this. Where is this label? Yeah, we'll name it status, and then we copy it, and inside the gallery we're going to paste it, and we'll make sure the font size is small, maybe 15, and a bit down. Yeah, make it there. We'll save it. One more thing we have to do, select this one and then go back to the visible property. It says random character status null. We have to check here this item. This, because we are inside the gallery, it should be this item dot status, not the variable. Now it says deceased. See, now it works fine. Let's save it. Let's play. Now we'll see deceased. Let's scroll back. See, these guys are dead already. These guys, everybody's dead. See, if you click one of these things, see, it says deceased, and click deceased, and this guy is normal, deceased. See, simple as that. When you click a random, now we get already selected, everything is working fine. Excellent. Now you have created a Power App using a custom connector to a third-party API with a nice interface. This is how you do that.